August 11th, 2010. Most of my colleagues here today, Madam Speaker, have interrupted their important activities back home in their districts to be here for this unusual but not unprecedented August session. As we stand here today, Madam Speaker, debating assistance for states and school districts across the country, I can't think of a better reason for members to rush back to the Capitol than to invest in our children and in our future. We're here today to extend a lifeline to teachers and classrooms across the country to ensure that students and our future are not mortgaged by a weak economy that has forced states into drastic cutbacks. Despite the failure of the Senate to move this bill during many months of debate until it finally passed last week, the urgency is real, and the appeal and need is real as well. This legislation saves or creates 310,000 American jobs, specifically for teachers, police officers, firefighters, and nurses. In Colorado, this bill will save the jobs of 2,600 teachers. Yes, Madam Speaker, absent the passage of this bill, class sizes will be larger for students across the state, and we'll be mortgaging our future because of the current recession. These funds will go immediately to states and prevent layoffs, in some cases rehire teachers that have already been given notice as summer comes to an end, just in time for when students go back to school. Students here in Washington, D.C. will be at school the week after next. Many districts in Colorado start in 2 or 3 weeks as well. This legislation, Madam Speaker, is completely paid for, primarily by closing tax loopholes that encourage corporations to ship American jobs overseas. Not only is this bill paid for, Madam Speaker, but this bill cuts the deficit by $1.4 billion. It never fails to surprise me when some of my colleagues talk about the spending of Congress, this, that, or the other. Well, here today before us, Madam Speaker, is a chance to cut the deficit. What a important and justifiable reason for us to return here to Washington in August to cut the deficit. These funds will assist states so they can keep qualified teachers in classrooms, pay firefighters and police officers to keep our neighborhoods safe. We need to do everything in our power to ensure that the American people are protected during this recession and that our children are educated. Widespread layoffs in these public security and education sectors wouldn't only hurt the schools and children, but would further depress the economy. These men and women who work in these professions, Madam Speaker, are the backbone of our nation and our economy. Now that the measure is before us with bipartisan support from the Senate, I hope all of our colleagues will join me in supporting this legislation and quickly moving to a final vote so that we can expeditiously get the money out to those who need it. I encourage my colleagues to support the rule and the bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.